We now have a better idea of what led up to a Memorial Day police shooting in Albuquerque. Lapel video shows two APD officers pulling up toward this red SUV in an apartment parking lot near Indian School in Rio Grande on Monday. Police believe the driver stole the SUV. Along with the suspected thief driving, police say two women and a 5-year-old boy were inside the car. Again, from another angle, as the driver tries to get away, Officer Ryan Graves yells at him to stop. When the driver keeps going, Graves shoots 3 times.
Don't do it! Do not do it! You can see that that vehicle actually strikes the officer's car door as he's backing away.
Police say the child wasn't hurt. This is not Officer Graves' first shooting. He is now on paid leave while the department investigates. It was a solemn scene as Officer Gregg Nigel Benner's body was moved from Albuquerque to Rio Rancho. Yesterday, American flags lined the streets and officers stood watch and escorted the hearse into Daniel's funeral home. And his coffin, draped with an American flag, was taken inside. Officers will remain on watch around the clock until his funeral on Thursday at the Santa Ana Star Center. A public visitation is set for next Wednesday. The memorial where Officer Benner was gunned down is continuing to grow. People have been dropping off flowers, flags, and balloons, and even more. Some have even placed small police cars and handwritten notes in his honor. And people from all over the nation have joined in to help the Benner family, including the New Mexico Corrections Department.
Because he sacrificed everything he had for the entire community, all of us included. A lot of us live in Rio Rancho and in the surrounding areas, and you just can't repay that enough.
Yesterday, the department held a bake sale downtown. They stayed until they sold out and made more than $570 for the officer's family. Tabitha Littles, who's also charged in Officer Benner's death, was released from the hospital and is now in jail this morning.
Why didn't you tell the officer?
Littles stayed quiet in front of our cameras yesterday. Police have charged her with accessory to murder, saying she could have warned Officer Benner her boyfriend was about to shoot him. Police say Andrew Romero had told her his plans when Officer Benner pulled them over on Southern and Pine Tree Monday night. Romero shot Littles in the foot. She spent the past 3 days in the hospital. Yesterday, state police took her to the Sandoval County Jail. She's expected to be in court on Monday. Now, Andrew Romero is now facing a federal gun charge on top of his state murder charges. He could be sentenced to life in prison for those federal charges as well as the state ones. Now, you can find our past stories and information on funeral plans for Officer Benner on our KRQE News app. Albuquerque police say the 7-year-old boy injured in a cherry picker crash earlier this week has died. He's been in the hospital since Sunday after a strong gust of wind caused the crane to fall 50 feet. The boy's father and 12-year-old cousin were also killed. 2 10-year-old boys are still in the hospital with serious injuries. Well, police in Tucumcari are looking for the man who tried to take a child. According to the Quay County Sun, officers responded to the Little League fields around 10 Tuesday night. They say a man grabbed a child and tried to restrain them, but the child was able to get away and run and tell their parents. Officers searched the area but could not find the suspect described by the child. This is still an ongoing investigation. If you know or saw anything, call Tucumcari Police. The NTSB is investigating the crash of a large unmanned Google drone being built and tested in New Mexico. It happened almost a month ago, but Google kept it under wraps. The plane is a prototype of a giant robotic aircraft that would someday beam internet into remote areas. The NTSB told Bloomberg News the Solera 50 took off from a private airstrip east of Albuquerque on May 1st and crashed near Moriarty. No one was hurt. A Google spokesperson told Bloomberg the company remains optimistic, and part of building a new technology is overcoming hurdles along the way. The FAA gave Google special permission to fly its unmanned planes built in Moriarty over central New Mexico. A 12-year-old girl is the first person in New Mexico this year to be infected with West Nile virus. The Department of Health says the girl from Valencia County was hospitalized and is now home recovering. The state says because of all the recent rain, there may be more mosquitoes this year and more potential for West Nile. Well, more cars are being recalled because the airbags could explode. General Motors has added about 375,000 GMC Sierra and Chevy Silverado pickups, and Subaru has added about 60,000 cars to the list. 11 automakers are recalling cars because of the airbag danger. The inflators made by Takata Corporation of Japan can inflate with too much force, causing shrapnel to fly out. Well, new this morning, one man is behind bars after police say he rammed into an APD unit, then tried to flee from the scene. It all happened around 11:30 last night near San Mateo and Indian School Northeast. Police say when they got there, 24-year-old Stephen Garul and another man were fighting. They say Garul, armed with a crowbar, was hitting the other man with it. When they tried to arrest him, Garul jumped into a car, fleeing the scene. They say he hit one parked car, then spun out of control, hitting a police unit head on. No one was hurt. Garul is charged with aggravated battery on a police officer and aggravated fleeing. 10 Albuquerque police officers are now on paid leave after a number of them opened fire on a suspect this week.
Officers, fearing for their life, shot at that driver.
APD is investigating how many shots were fired and which officers fired near Central and Old Coors. Police say it started Wednesday when 20-year-old Rodrigo Garcia rammed a sheriff's car and got away. Thursday night, police spotted the same stolen Tahoe. Police say Garcia hit the gas and headed straight toward the officers. Garcia drove through a chain link fence, hitting police cars and knocking an officer to the ground. Officers opened fire and stopped him. Here's the damage he did to APD cruisers. Garcia remains hospitalized from at least one gunshot wound. One officer was taken to the hospital and released. And we've discovered Garcia is used to causing trouble. He's only 20, but he's been arrested for everything from larceny to aggravated assault. Police say Garcia has been arrested 3 times just this year, twice this month, and was just released from jail last Thursday. Well, also new this morning, several people have been evacuated from their homes in southeast Albuquerque after a fire broke out there. Flames erupted at the apartment complex near San Mateo just after 8 last night. Firefighters say when they got there, they saw heavy flames and smoke coming from one of the apartments on the 2nd floor. They were able to get the fire under control in about 10 minutes. Well, sadly, 1 dog and 2 cats were found dead inside an apartment. Several residents who were displaced are getting assistance from the Red Cross. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Well, more problems at a skate park that was recently the scene of a deadly shooting. 17-year-old Jaquez Lewis was killed in March after a shooting at Los Altos skate park. Police say a fight broke out over a stolen skateboard. Now a new video posted to YouTube on Memorial Day shows a fight. People are arguing over stolen pot. In the video, people are egging on the fight and a big crowd gathers to watch it.
Dude, you just stole it right now. It's gone. These 2 are thieves, everyone. Look, I'm justified.
It doesn't appear anyone was seriously hurt. Skaters are worried if the violence continues, the city will shut down the park. A Santa Fe robber's run is over. Tuesday, 30-year-old Everett Rael was caught on surveillance video robbing Cliff's liquor store. He showed a gun to the clerk and then took off with some cash. Nobody was hurt. He was arrested Friday afternoon on 4th Street in Santa Fe. A former New Mexico inmate is getting his chance to prove that prisoners were poisoned and experimented on.
Tortured Sam Chavez while he was in there, that they tried to poison him, that they kept him in solitary for way too many years for no good reason at all.
Samuel Chavez filed a lawsuit in 2007 saying he lost his sight from mistreatment by prison officials at the Old State Pen. Last year, Chavez asked for a court order allowing a search of the prison for proof the state experimented on prisoners, tortured them, and sold their organs. He says there are notebooks buried there with a list of names that will prove his claims. Now, the Santa Fe New Mexican says a judge is allowing Chavez to conduct a dig. No word when that will take place. The Department of Corrections denies Chavez's allegations. A mountain lion that attacked a puppy is now dead, but it's not the only one officials are looking for. A woman in Raton told authorities she saw a small cougar attack her dog and that she had lost another puppy and several cats days earlier. Game and Fish officers found the female mountain lion in a tree nearby. They say she was probably drawn to the woman's home because a neighbor was feeding feral cats. Officials are also tracking a cougar in Los Alamos that has already killed 2 dogs and attacked another. Now, they have set up traps. Well, the owner of a dog walking business in Chicago has now been charged with animal cruelty after an elevator security camera caught him kicking a puppy. The man is seen stepping on the puppy's paw and then kicking it as it cowers in the elevator corner. The building security staff saw the incident and told the dog's owner, who then called police. The man was arrested yesterday. The dog is okay. His property is a complete mess. Chavez County commissioners have been trying to get the owner to clean it up for years. Now they're taking action. But as News 13 Cheyenne Cope explains, the owner says there's a lot more to the job.
Chavez County Commissions told Roger Terrico if he didn't clean up his land in time, they would do it, and it was going to cost him. Now he says he'll do it, he just needs more time.
And it just takes time, and all I asked for was a little bit more time, and the commissioners, not the city of Roswell, the commissioners denied me.
Last month, Chavez County Commissioners told Roger Terrico he had 15 days to get his property just off the highway north of Roswell cleaned up. Terrico says that wasn't enough time for a job this size. The property is riddled with torn down mobile homes, tires, and other debris that the county says is unsafe to the public.
All I need is a couple more months. I've had equipment go down. I've got permission to start burning, but we can't burn all this stuff. Because look, there's plumbing out here. We have to separate the plumbing, the insulation, and everything before we stop burning.
During a meeting last night, commissioners agreed Terrico had been given more than enough, especially since they originally gave him more than 3 years to clean it up. Now the county will be cleaning up the mess and will charge him by putting a lien on his land. But Terrico says he's not going down without a fight.
So they're looking at a lawsuit. You know, my point, Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, I'm going to be in Albuquerque and seeing how I'm going to sue the city of Chavez County.
Terrico says he will be locking his gates, and if anyone from the county comes onto his property, he will attempt to charge them with trespassing. Cheyenne Cope, KRQE, News 13.
While none of the commissioners were able to go on camera, they did tell us that the more the owner gets cleaned up before the county moves in, the less it will cost him.